Okay, so where to start? Well, power supply seems a likely place to start, but I also want to see about replacing the rubber mounts on this RF unit. And I'm wondering if that might be made easier if I can get this whole thing off. I know I did it once before because I replaced this dial, but that was years ago. So these knobs pull off easily enough. And then there's this tuning mechanism. Oh, now we can see it. I can actually demonstrate it because it's out of the chassis. So go around to the station you want, push this in, swing it down to lock it in. I was reading up on the servicing notes for this mechanism, and there are two switches behind. I want to make sure they're operational. You can see one of them right down in there. One of them mutes it, similar to the cone-centric tuner, so when you're locking in the station, you don't hear it scan past all those other stations. The other disables the magnetic tuning, so when you're flying by stations, a local oscillator doesn't try to lock onto one of them. If I can get that off, it should make it easier to get the stuff behind it. There's a detailed 4-page service bulletin just on this tuning mechanism. I think I'll print that out as well. I'm working on taking off that tuning dial now. Remove the knobs, and then 3 brass screws, which lets you take this cover plate off, which I think I will try to repaint. I think got worn off there by the rotating handle. Well, when you get to this point, here's all the presets for these stations, and I see some screws in here. Looks to me like I can undo those and this will come out. Looks like there's a screw missing too. That should be replaced. First I had to take the handle off, screw on either side, and then that center piece came out. Now I'm going to take off this dial scale so it doesn't get damaged. In order to do that, actually, I got to take this part off. It's a 1/4-inch screw on either side. Pull this up, pull this off, and then hopefully will be a fairly easy way to get the rest of the mechanism out of there. Alright, that unveils the slotted cutout for the band switch. This little rubber piece out of the way, and I think this will slide off, and this will come out. Didn't expect all that to come with it. Okay, we're getting there, Set all that aside. I've been taking plenty of reference photos too, so I'll get this thing back together. Alright, now we're getting down to the heart of this mechanism. Don't want to completely take this thing apart. So I'm trying to take it a little apart as possible, such that I can work on the rest of the chassis more easily. So this whole thing is attached to just a conventional tuning capacitor back there. By this coupler, which looks to be in fine condition, which is great. So I can clearly see there's a set screw. I presume there's another one. 90 degrees, yep, there it is. So I can get down in there, the long thin screwdriver, and undo those. And I'll have to disconnect a few wires here and up there. Oh, look at that. These are not soldered on, they're just wrapped around. Huh. Geez, I wonder if that could have happened back in the factory. It seems a little bit of solder on those connectors, but not a lot. But I can't imagine why somebody would have gone into this thing and taken it apart enough that they could have gotten at these wires and then just left them like this. Weird, weird. Well, I'll be checking the functionality of that switch and soldering those wires, that's for sure. So let's see, all these lights will just slide off, so that's no problem. Let's see, there's some screws. Odd assortment here, and this one's loose. Somebody must have been in here tinkering around at some point. I'm sure that's an original. You can see all the others are 1/4-inch sheet metal screws. I don't know how it cut to the point where there's a 1/4-inch, a Phillips, and a flathead, which don't even match this. So we got 4 completely different looking fasteners on here. Oh, another great thing about this chassis is it's completely corrosion free as near as I can tell. These are in good condition too. These are bumpers for the cabinet when you slide this in. I've come to realize there's something else I need to deal with, which is how to prop this on its side or upside down while I work on it. I can see now why guys have built jigs to handle larger chassis, because with these lugs sticking out the side, it doesn't really want to balance too well. As far as what these are, I wondered about that for a while. Well, somebody in Philco Farm informed me that those are from when they shipped the radio. They were actually U-bolts holding the chassis down tight to the cabinet, and once it was delivered they would remove those and it would just float on the rubber cushions below. Well, that's great, but because they're there, it doesn't really want to sit up on its side too well, so I don't really want to go as far as making a full-blown jig for it. I think I'll just find some scraps of wood or something to keep it stable. I got it propped up fairly stable, and I decided the first thing to do is start cutting out the stuff that shouldn't be here, like these filter caps that were added in. Illinois condenser co 8 microfarad and 3 microfarad, 450 volts. Get those out of there, and get these guys out of here. 10 and 10, 475 in parallel. Alright, now let's see, what will it take to get this center portion out? I don't think there are too many wires connected. We got one here. This is a hacked-in phono connector. Get that out of there. Some wires going right to the antenna lugs. And a wire here. And a few going to this point. So again, I'll take some reference photos and start undoing these few wires and see if I can pull that whole center section out. Getting there. Still a few more wires at the other end of the chassis up here I still got to get out. After undoing a few more wires and a little bit of wiggling, got it out. Similar idea to the 37640 and 611 I've been working on, but the scale of it's a little bit bigger. Actually, 3 tubes up here rather than 2. The one difference is this bad boy here. Should be a 6N7. Yes, dual triad. And that hooks up to, well, I'm not sure where it is in this exactly, but somewhere in here is a discriminator transformer. I was thinking it was this black thing here, but no, I'm not so sure. So it looks like it's just a Philco Bakelite block. When I look more closely at it. Yep, it's got to be in here somewheres. Let's look here. So, oh, I think it might actually be inside a can with maybe the second IF. Maybe that's why the can is so much larger. I think it's actually inside here. That's probably what the odd construction is all about. We'll get to that when we get to it. So, next up, well, I guess I'll test some tubes and start cleaning this sucker up. Relube the bearings, replace the chromy rubber. So I'm going to replace that guy, and this, and this, and the one at the back, and find a suitable screw to replace the one that's missing. Let's see about digging down in here and replacing those paper caps. Oh, I just solved one little mystery. I was wondering what this plug was up on the front of the chassis. Well, that is for all dial lamps. So now I can get them out of the way while I work on the chassis. I think what I'll do is take the remains of the main chassis and stick that back in the cabinet while I just focus on this guy.